Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we're doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 4, a chapter entitled The Incarnation of Godhead. Before we begin the class, we'll do a short Mangala Charana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaim Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayamutiraye. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the only means of conquest, let us offer our respectful obeisances to the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, onto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, onto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and onto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nasta Paresha Avadareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly attending class on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service onto the lotus feet of pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely vanquished, and loving devotional service onto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, who is praised by transcendental songs and choice poetry, is established in one's heart as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyana Timirandese Gena Gena Salakaya Chakshuramritanyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master illuminated my heart with the torch of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful offices unto him. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome everybody to this Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are continuing on with the conversation between Maharaj Nimi and the 9 Yogendras, the Nava Yogendras. So just a quick recap, this Maharaj Nimi asked 9 questions, and the first question that Maharaj Nimi asked was, what is the greatest good that one can do in one's life? That is the first question. The second question was how to identify a pure devotee. And third question is, what is Maya? What is illusion? The fourth question is how to overcome such illusion. The fifth question was, what is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And the sixth question, which we did last week, was what is Karma Yoga? So in last week's class, the perfection of Karma Yoga is described as being performing deity worship of the Supreme Lord. And the last statement given by the Nava Yogendras with regard to Karma Yoga and deity worship is that one should worship the form of the deity that is attractive to that devotee, whatever form that is attractive to that devotee. So today's question Maharaj Nimi asked is this question. Okay, I'll read the question. This is Canto 11, Chapter 4, Text 1. King Nimi said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends into the material world by his internal potency and according to his own desire. Therefore, please tell us about the various pastimes of Lord Hari has performed in the past, is performing now, and will perform in this world in the future in his various incarnation. So this is the question, the sixth question that Maharaj Nimi asked the 9 brothers, the Nava Yogendras. So he's asking here, since you mentioned that the perfection of Karma Yoga is by performing deity worship, and we should worship the form of the deity that is attractive to us. Okay, so now he's asking, please tell us about the various pastimes of Lord Hari, the pastimes that have happened in the past, the pastime that is happening now, and also the pastime that is happening in the future. This is very interesting because only in Srimad Bhagavatam and only in these Vedic scriptures does the description of the Supreme Lord is there. The full description, what he looks like, what he likes, who are his friends, everything is here only. It's not found in any other religion, only found here. But also, more importantly, it also emphasizes the fact that the Supreme Lord's pastime is not something that happened in the past and is not happening now. No, that is not a fact. The specialty of this Sanatana Dharma, this eternal religion, is that the pastime of the Supreme Lord is happening eternally. That's why it's Sanatana Dharma. That's why it is an eternal religion. So therefore, Maharaj Nimi is asking, please tell me about the various pastimes of Lord Hari that he has done in the past, okay, that he's performing now also God, and also the pastime that he's going to perform in the future. So also another very interesting point is that if you were to hear about anything with regards to the Supreme Lord, there is a reference of that pastime of the Supreme Lord in the Holy Scriptures. This is like a check and balance for all of us, because anybody can simply come and say, "Oh, Nandan Kadaval, I am God," and then now you will be wondering, how do I know this person is really God or not? Where do I go? Where do I check? Is there a place where I can verify? So the place to verify is the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, because all the characteristics of the appearance of the Supreme Lord is discussed in detail here. Okay, this question and also the next week's question will be discussing about the pastime of the Supreme Lord. So for now, we will see what is the answer given by Durmila. Durmila is another one of the brothers, the 9 Yogendras from the 9 brothers. Durmila, Sri Durmila Vacha. This is text 2. Sri Durmila Vacha Yovai Anastasya Guna Anantan Anukar Misyan Satu Bala Buddhihi Rajasi Bhumir Ganayat Katachit Kalena Naivakila Sakti Dham Nam. Translation: Sri Durmila said, anyone trying to enumerate or describe fully the unlimited qualities of the unlimited Supreme Lord has the intelligence of a foolish child. Even if a great genius could somehow or other, after a time-consuming endeavor, count all the particle of dust on the surface of the earth, such a genius would never count the attractive qualities of the personality of Godhead, who is the reservoir of all potencies. This is a very, very, very interesting statement given by Durmila. He starts off by saying that anyone who is trying to describe the Supreme Lord is considered a foolish child. If he's trying to fully describe the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is considered a foolish child. And he goes on to further explain, if such a person had the intelligence and the ability to count every particle of dust on the surface of the earth, this earth, let's say he's able to count every particle of dust on the surface of the earth. If you could do that, you will not be able to count the unlimited attractive qualities of the personality of Godhead, who is the reservoir of all potencies, the reservoir of all Saktis, of all energies. So this is how incredible and how undescribable the Supreme Lord is. So here in the purport, it is mentioned here, Lord Ananta himself, with his innumerable tongues, cannot even begin to vibrate completely the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in every universe, there is a expansion of the Supreme Lord in form of Ananta Sesa. Ananta Sesa is the bed of Lord Narayana. He sleeps on Ananta Sesa. So this Ananta Sesa, he has unlimited millions of hoods. His head, snake, he's got millions of hoods. And each hood has one tongue. And each head could speak. Alright? So since the beginning of the appearance of this universe until the end of the life of this universe, this Ananta Sesa, each one of these heads, of these millions of heads, each one of them is describing the glory of the Supreme Lord separately, individually, all of them talking all at once. Millions of them. From the very beginning of time until the end of the lifespan of this universe, they will not be able to finish not even a fraction of the total of the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why is this so? The reason is quite simple. the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is happening every moment. It is not like something that has a beginning and an end. There is no end. In fact, Lord Brahma gives a very nice description of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He describes here that Krishna is Ishvara Parama. He is the supreme controller. This same Krishna is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He is the embodiment of all eternity, knowledge and bliss. Anadi Radir Govinda. This Krishna, who is the embodiment of all eternity, knowledge and bliss, he is without beginning and there is no end. And he is also known as Govinda. Govinda here means that he is the giver of the pleasures to the cows and to the senses. And the senses that he's talking about here is also our senses. So this Govinda, he has no beginning and no end. That means also what? No. There is no end to the pleasures that he can give to the senses and to his most favorite pet, the cows. That's what it also means. And also he goes on further. He says Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. This one phrase itself is it's very difficult to fully describe it. He is the cause of all causes. Anything that happens by his sanction. There's not a blade of grass moved without the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this Ananta says he is narrating the pastimes, and also it is described that this narration of Ananta Sesa is also described as Srimad Bhagavatam, because that narration is being attended to by the four Kumaras. The four Kumaras are the original four sons of Lord Brahma. Okay, so they are attending class in the bottom of this universe, and the class was given by Ananta Sesa. So this class is going on. This narration, glorification of Krishna in his form is just going on. Okay, so another very interesting thing I would like to share with you is in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is stated there that the appearance of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, among all the incarnation, all the avatars of Krishna, the appearance of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are the rarest, very, very rare. They come not very often. Okay, and it's described there that Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes once in a day of Lord Brahma. So I'm just thinking out loud here. This is my mental speculation. Okay, please don't quote me. This is just me thinking. I'm thinking if this statement says that Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears once in the day of Lord Brahma, that means Lord Brahma lives for 100 years. Okay, and in 100 years there is 36,000 days. Okay, if you calculate and see, in Vedic astrology and Vedic astronomy, there is 360 days in 1 year. Okay, 360 days in 1 year. So Lord Brahma lives for 100 years. Okay, so 360 times 100, you get 36,000. So it is my mental speculation here. I'm thinking in the lifespan of one universe, Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will appear 36,000 times. I was thinking to myself, oh Krishna, this is 36,000 times. This is rare, the rarest. That means there are other incarnations of Krishna like Lord Rama, Lord Varaha, Lord Vamana, Lord Narasingha, and so many other more. And it says here that the qualities and the appearance and the activities of the Supreme Lord is unlimited. These are just a few that we know of. Imagine, the most rarest is Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They only appear 36,000 times. I'm thinking to myself, what is it that we do in our life that is 36,000 times? Nothing. So the question might be asked, why is the Lord working so hard to appear and perform his pastimes 36,000 times? This is just Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I haven't included all the other avatars. Afterwards, we will discuss how many kinds of avatars are there. Okay, so I'm thinking, oh Krishna, this is the display. This is another display of Krishna's mercy. I'm sure we have all heard, the phrase there where it says there, if we approach Krishna, if we take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take 100 steps towards you. And this is a very good explanation. The Supreme Lord comes and he performs his pastime simply to bestow mercy upon us. He simply to bestow mercy upon us. So just to remind us, hey, hello friend, this is not your home. Your home is in Vaikuntha. I am coming here just to remind you. I am coming here just to bless you. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in chapter 4, I can't remember which text now, Paritaranayam sadhunam vinasha cha duskritam dharmastam stapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. The Supreme Lord, he appears in various incarnations to bless his devotees, number one. Number two is to kill demons. And number three, to re-establish religion, the eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma. So when the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna says that, then we can safely say that the Supreme Lord Krishna is supremely merciful upon all the living entities who are his part and parcel. So Krishna once in what do you call Srila Prabhupada once in a class, in Srimad Bhagavatam class, very with so much love and devotion in Srila Prabhupada's heart, he says that don't try to understand Krishna. It's not possible to fully understand Krishna. All you need to do is just to love Krishna. That's all. It's easier to love Krishna, and with Krishna's blessing, Krishna will bless you, and with his blessing, you will understand him. By our own effort, it is like climbing 1,000,000 Mount Everest. It will never happen. To climb one Mount Everest is so difficult. This trying to understand Krishna is like climbing 1,000,000 Mount Everest. So don't try to understand him. Simply try to love him. So this is the message from Srila Prabhupada. So let's move on. This is text number 4. What was number 3? No. Now let's move on to text number 3. When the primeval Lord Narayana created his universal body out of the 5 elements produced from himself and then entered within this universal body by his own planetary portion, he thus became known as Purusha. So this verse here is describing the Purusha avatar. Okay, in scriptures we hear there are 5 kinds of avatar. First one is Purusha avatar. Second one is Leela avatar. Third one is Guna avatar. The fourth one is Yuga avatar. The fifth one is Manvantara avatar. The sixth, there is not, I said 5, actually there's 6. The sixth avatar is Shakti Avesh avatar. So let's look at this description that is given here by Durmila is referring to the Purusha avatar. So who are the Purusha avatars? Purusha avatars here is referring to the 3 Vishnus. Okay. First, there is Karana Dakashai Vishnu, also popularly known as Mahavishnu. This Vishnu, from his exhaling, when he's breathing, he exhales, he creates universes, and from his sweat also universes are created. Okay. So when universes are created, this same Vishnu expands himself into 2 other Vishnus into each and every universe. The second Vishnu is called Garbhodakashai Vishnu. Okay, this Garbhodakashai Vishnu is the one that is sleeping on Anantasesa at the bottom of the universe on a causal ocean. And from his navel comes the lotus flower from which Lord Brahma is born. The firstborn in this universe is born. So from this Vishnu, there is another Vishnu. He's known as Shirodakashai Vishnu. Shirodakashai Vishnu is the Vishnu from which all the Devas will run to every time they get into trouble. This Vishnu lives in a planet where there is an ocean of milk, Palkadal. It's also known as Svetva Dipam. Okay, this planet, this place where Shirodakashai Vishnu lives. So this Vishnu, Shirodakashai Vishnu, is the one who expands himself as Paramatma in everyone's heart. In this universe, all of us, we have a companion. No matter how lonely you think you are never alone. There is always a Paramatma, super soul there with you, and that super soul is Shirodakashaya Vishnu. So this is the first avatar. The second avatar is called Leela avatar. Leela avatar means the avatar that come to perform some kind of pastime, some kind of activity, some kind of play. He comes to play with his devotee. So this is a good example of Leela avatar is Lord Rama, Lord Vamana, Lord Narasingha. He came for the purpose of pleasing his devotees and performing some wonderful pastime. Okay, this is Leela avatar, and there is 25 of them actually. I'm just mentioning here so they can. So the third kind of avatar is Guna avatar. Guna avatar is here is referring to the three incarnations that are in charge of the three modes of material nature. The first one is the mode of goodness. Mode of goodness here is represented by Lord Vishnu. Okay, this Lord Vishnu mode of goodness, he maintains this universe. He maintains it. The second one is mode of passion. The mode of passion is expansion of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, his job is to create universes and create living entities. How many times? 36,000 times in each universe. Every daytime when he wakes up, he creates, and when night time comes, everything is dissolved. Everything is inundated in water. Okay. So the third one is what we call Tamaguna. Tamaguna, the one in charge is Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, this Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they get their Sakti, their power from this Lord Vishnu himself, who is maintaining. So you can, if you see, there's creation, there's maintenance, and there's destruction. Okay. So anybody, if you meet any kind of businessman, they'll tell you the same thing. You know, I said to start something very easy. To start something is very easy. To close down something, to end something, so very easy. But to maintain is the most difficult work, the most headache. What is going on here? So this is Guna avatar. Then you have Yuga avatar. The Yuga avatar is referring to the presiding deities of each yuga. So in this world we have today, we have Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwarpa Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So each yuga there is a presiding deity. So this Dwarpa Yuga, the presiding deity was Krishna. Okay, and in Kali Yuga, the presiding deity was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, of course there is presiding deity for Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga also. That we will discuss next week. That will be the next question. Then you have Manvantara avatar. In one day of Lord Brahma's life, there are divisions of time. Each time there is a presiding Lord that rules that time. So that's called Manvantara. Okay. So right now we are in the Manvantara of Vaishvata Manu. Okay, and the presiding deity of this Manu is Lord Vamanadev. Okay, so there's 14 in each day of Lord Brahma. There is 14 Manus. Okay, so then the sixth one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth avatar is called Shakti Avesh avatar. Shakti Avesh literally means the one who is empowered to carry out some kind of work for the Supreme Lord. So a very good example of a Shakti Avesh avatar is Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. Okay, this Lord Brahma and Lord Brahma is a Jivatma. He is a Atma just like you and me. But he is being given the power by Lord Vishnu to do the job of creation. Another good example of Shakti Avesh avatar is Lord Narada Muni. Narada Muni is a Jivatma also, just like you and me. He's a soul, Jivatma. But he is being given the Sakti to go and travel around the universe to remind all living entities about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of us today, we can talk about Krishna, we know about Srimad Bhagavatam only because of the mercy of Narada Muni. So these are some examples. So there's a seventh avatar. This one is not usually mentioned, but some of the Puranas, they mention there is a seventh avatar. And that avatar is known as Dasa avatar. Dasa avatar. You know who are the Dasa avatar? Is you and me. Why? If you read Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, text 7, Krishna says, Mayam Vamsu Jiva Loki Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Krishna says, this living entity are my eternal fragmental part and parcel. So, originally, all these living entities in this material world, that is you and me, we are originally from Vaikuntha. We are also like avatar. We crossed over. Avatar meaning the one who crossed over from the spiritual life, from the spiritual world to the material world. Avatar. So we are also avatar. So we are known as Dasa avatar. Dasa here means eternally a servant. That is our constitutional position. Living entities are eternally servants of Lord Krishna. Jivara Swarupa hoy Krishna Nitya Das. The constitutional position of the Jiva, the living entity, is to be an eternal servant of Krishna. So Dasa avatar. Okay, let's move on. Text number 4. Within his body are elaborately arranged 3 planetary systems of this universe. His transcendental senses generate the knowledge acquiring and active senses of all embodied beings. His consciousness generates conditioned knowledge, and his powerful breathing produces the bodily strength, sensory power, and conditioned activities of the embodied soul. He is the prime mover, and through the agency of the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and thus the universe is created, maintained, and annihilated. This is a description of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Okay, from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu comes Lord Brahma. From the lotus, and from that Lord Brahma, which he empowers with his Sakti, living entities are created. And the creation that Lord Brahma is in charge of is our body, this woodle, and all the ability that we have in this body are all expansion of the energy and the Sakti of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is the one who is at the bottom of this universe, and the one that reminds us, that gives us the ability to remember, forget, and to have knowledge is the Shirodakashayi Vishnu. That is the one that is in Palkadal. So here it is explaining that every aspect of this universe, every ability, the ability of the sun to rise, the ability of the sun to give sunlight, the ability of the sun to give heat, the ability of the sun to influence the weathers, the ability of the moon rise. Moon is cooling, the sun is hot. Everything, every ability, the ability of the plants to grow, ability for the plants to produce oxygen, and this oxygen is consumed by us. We consume oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is eaten by the plants, and the plant recycle it again, they produce oxygen. So this relationship is so wonderful. All of this is arranged by Vishnu himself. So this is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So let's move on. In the beginning, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested the form of Brahma through the material mode of passion in order to create this universe. The Lord manifested his form as Vishnu, the Lord of sacrifice and protector of the twice-born Brahmanas and their religious duties, to maintain the universe. And when the universe is to be annihilated, the same Supreme Lord employs the material mode of ignorance and manifested in the form of Rudra, the created living beings, and thus always subject the forces of creation, maintenance, and destruction. This is referring to the Guna avatars. This verse is referring to the Guna avatars. So here, I would like to just let you know, I'm not going to go into it because I am not able to explain also. Very early on in my Krishna consciousness, I had a very interesting conversation with Singheshwara Prabhu. Singheshwara Prabhu was encouraging us in our Krishna consciousness. This was before we were initiated. So we were asking a lot of questions. As new bhaktas, we were asking this question, ask that question, is this question, and he was happily answering all his questions. And then I asked once about Lord Shiva. You know, how do we understand Lord Shiva? What is Lord Shiva's role in Krishna consciousness? So Singheshwara Prabhu told that Lord Shiva is known as the greatest of Vaishnavas. He is the greatest of devotees. He is the greatest of devotees simply because the main characteristic of a Vaishnava devotee is his compassion and mercy. And in this universe, there is no greater devotee than Lord Shiva. But he said, but don't try to understand Lord Shiva, because it's impossible to understand him. Very, very difficult to understand him. And he said also, another personality that is also very difficult to understand is Srimati Radharani. So with these two personalities, don't try to think that you can have the intelligence to understand them. It's not possible at all. Don't even try to attempt to understand these great personalities. All we can do, if we want to have a chance to try to understand, even try to serve them properly, is simply to follow in the footsteps of the bona fide representative of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the spiritual master. This is the advice he gave, and it actually is, from my experience, I have seen that is most 1,000 times true, very, very true. Don't try to understand. It's impossible. There is nothing in our experience in this material body that can help us to understand these two great personalities, Lord Shiva and Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani, of course, is not different from Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada told already, don't try to understand Krishna. It's impossible. Just try to love him, try to serve him, try to please him. Simply by Krishna's blessings, then you can advance in your understanding of the Supreme Lord. So here Durmila Muni, he begins to explain about one pastime. Okay, let's read. This is text number 6. Nara Narayana Rishi, who is perfectly peaceful and is the best of sages, was born of the son of Dharma and his wife Murti, the daughter of Daksha. Nara Narayana Rishi taught the devotional service of the Lord, by which material work ceases, and he himself perfectly practices this knowledge. He is living even today. His lotus feet served by the greatest of saintly persons. So these Nara Narayana Rishi are the expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the category of Leela Avatar. Leela, he came to perform a certain pastime. Okay, so Nara Narayana Rishi they are actually two brothers. They come in human form, and according to Srimad Bhagavatam, in this verse, they are still around on earth. They are in Badrik Ashram. Okay, so if you want to meet them, you only have to practice devotional service. That's all. By Krishna's blessing, by their blessing, you'll be able to see them. So here, this Nara Narayana Rishi, they came to teach the great science of devotional service. The great science of devotional service. In fact, it's stated here in the purport. Nice karamya. Nice karamya is actually devotional service whereby you dedicate everything for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Let's move on from here. King Indra became fearful, thinking that Nara Narayana Rishi would become very powerful by his severe penance and seize Indra's heavenly kingdom. Thus Indra, not knowing the transcendental glories of the incarnation, the Lord sent Cupid and his associates to the Lord's residence in Badrik Ashram. As the charming breeze of spring created the most sensuous atmosphere, Cupid himself attacked the Lord with arrows in the form of irresistible glances of beautiful women. So here is a typical pastime of King Indra. King Indra here is very interesting because he represents all us living entities in this material world who want to enjoy. So this is the problem with the desire to enjoy. When you want to enjoy, what happens is immediately fear comes into your heart. Fear comes into heart. This is what happened to Lord Indra. Lord Indra saw this Nara Narayana Rishi are two human beings on earth. They're performing severe austerity, very powerful austerity. And in his mind, he's thinking, these people want my position. They want to take over my position. So he was in fear. Out of fear only, he asked his servants, Cupid to go and try to make this Narayana Rishi fall. So this is actually very instructive. It is all instructive for us. So let's move on. The primeval Lord, understanding the offenses committed by Indra, did not become proud. Instead, he spoke laughingly as follows to the Cupid and his followers, who were trembling before him. The Narayana Rishi said, "Do not fear, O mighty Madana, O wind god and wives of the demigods. Rather, please accept these gifts I am offering you, and kindly sanctify my ashram by your presence." So this Narayana Rishi, they were so exalted personalities that when somebody came there to like try to disturb them or try to hurt them, they did not become angry and they did not become proud. So this is a very very good lesson to all of us, in the sense that these personalities of Narayana Rishi, they practice devotional service by perfectly understanding that their constitutional position as being servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Servants got no right to feel proud or angry. Their job is to serve. If anything wrong or anything good happen, that is the job of the master. Let the master take care of everything. So it is described here that when this Cupid, Kandarapa, came to try to disturb Narayana Rishi, they did not become angry and did not become proud. It's also very important, because sometimes some of us, we will think that, oh, I'm chanting so many rounds, or I'm doing this devotional service, or I'm doing charity work, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. We become proud. So this pride is the greatest downfall of any devotees. What to speak of any devotees? Even the most exalted devotees in the whole creation, the gopis of Vrindavan, when they felt pride in their heart, they thought to themselves, "Oh, Krishna is only with me. He's not with other gopis. Oh, I must be very special." The moment they thought like that, Krishna disappeared. Just like that. Immediately he just disappeared. And they started crying. So here, Narayana Rishi saw the fear in the eyes of Cupid, because it has been the past experience of Cupid. Sometimes they go and try to disturb some rishi. Rishi being angry, they will get cursed. This Cupid will unnecessarily get cursed. So out of fear, he approached Narayana Rishi, and seeing this fear, this great sage Narayana said, "Do not fear, please don't fear. Please accept my gift, come. Please, you're welcome, plus come. Please accept gift, accept prasadam, come, come and sanctify this ashrama, in Badrika ashrama." Then they went on to say, "My dear King Nimi, when Narayana Rishi thus spoke, eradicating the fears of the demigod, they bowed their head with shame and addressed the Lord as follows, to invoke his compassion. Our dear Lord, you are always transcendental, beyond the reaches of illusion, and therefore you are forever changeless. Your causeless compassion toward us, despite our great offense, is not at all unusual in you, since innumerable great sages who are self-satisfied and free from anger and false pride bow down humbly at your lotus feet." So this is how we should approach actually every devotee. Every devotee is a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you do not know how any one of these devotee can save you from the greatest danger from this material world. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, he says that little advancement in this Krishna consciousness can save you from the greatest of fear. And advancement here means to give praise and appreciation to all devotees. So this is what the devas are doing. Even though they're doing it out of fear, but we don't have to do it out of fear. We can do it out of compassion and out of gratitude. So this is the lesson here. We give praise, okay? And then these demigods went on. The demigod placed many obstacles on the path of those who worship you to transcend the temporary abode of the demigods and reach your supreme abode. Those who offer the demigods their assigned shares in sacrificial performance encounter no such obstacles. But because you are the direct protector of your devotees, he is able to step over the heads of who or whatever obstacles the demigod placed before him. So here's a very interesting point. Even the devas understand this. The devas, they understand that these living entities, it is their duty. This is the Karma Kanda section. Also Karma Yoga also. they pay tax to the devas by giving them offerings. Okay, so these devas are here saying that those who give them offering, the devas don't give them any difficulty. But because of Krishna's example, Krishna's lifting the Govardhan hill, Krishna, as a 5-year-old boy, told his father Nanda Maharaj, who at that time was about to do offering to King Indra, okay, about to do offering to King Indra, and Krishna convinced them, don't offer to Indra. Why you want to offer to Indra? Indra is simply doing his duty. No need to offer him anything. Instead, you should offer all this offering to Govardhan Hill. Why? This Govardhan Hill is a very great devotee. This Govardhan Hill, because of Govardhan Hill only, is producing all kinds of wonderful things. For the cows, they eat the grass on Govardhan Hill. They produce all kinds of herbs, all kinds of stones, and water is coming from Govardhan Hill. We are consuming we should worship this devotee, Govardhan Hill. So that's what Nanda Maharaj did. When King Indra saw this, he became very angry. Hey, how can you offer this? This is supposed to be my offering. You never give me. So Indra, out of vengeance, he wanted to teach the villages of Vrajabhumi a lesson. So he sent torrents and torrents of rain. 7 days, 7 nights. The whole of Vrajadam was inundated with water for 7 days, 7 nights. And in that 7 days, 7 nights, this little Krishna, with his left hand, he lifted the Govardhan Hill, and Govardhan Hill became an umbrella that protected all the inhabitants of Vrajabhumi. So for 7 days and 7 nights, all of the inhabitants were just looking at Krishna, and they were just drinking in the beauty of Krishna for 7 days and 7 nights. So the lesson here, I was thinking to myself, this pastime is very wonderful, but what is the lesson here? The lesson here is that all of us, we are performing this pastime also. Why? These Vrajavasis, they were fortunate to get the personal association of Krishna. In Kali Yuga, the same Krishna has expanded himself as the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, for 7 days and 7 nights, all the Vrajavasis plus the cows, they were just drinking in the beauty of Krishna, and they felt no tiredness, no fatigue, no fear, no disturbance, nothing. They were perfectly peaceful. Everything around them was being destroyed, and they were just drinking in the beauty of Krishna. So this is a lesson for all of us. For all of us who take seriously to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with great attention, all the dangers of this material world will seem just like a mosquito bite. It's just like a itch, very irritating itch. The dangers, like now we're going through pandemic, everybody is in fear. So what to do? Take to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chanting. The devotional life starts with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Practice it until you meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Krishna until it doesn't remove from your heart. That is the purpose behind this Srimad Bhagavatam class. It is for us to engage our intelligence in glorifying the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Krishna's name, Krishna's pastime, Krishna's form, Krishna's paraphernalia, and Krishna's devotee, they are all transcendental. They are not material. I can say a lot more, but time is running out and I got a lot more to go. Okay, let's just move on. Some men practice severe penance to cross beyond our influence, which is like an innumerable ocean with endless waves of hunger, thirst, heat, cold, and other conditions brought about by passing time, such as sensuous wind and urges of the tongue and sex organ. Nonetheless, although crossing this ocean of sense gratification through severe penance, such persons foolishly drown in a cow's hoofprint when conquered by useless anger. Thus, they exhaust the benefit of their difficult austerities in vain. So, this the devas here giving this offering as prayers as a warning to us. It's the glorification to Narayana Rishi, but it's a warning to us. Warning to us is in what sense? We should never ever think that we are capable of anything that is wonderful. We should always think that anything wonderful is the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and we are not qualified to receive it at all. We are not qualified to receive it at all. We are not qualified in any way to receive anything good in our lives. If you can understand this, then you will understand how, if anything bad comes into your life, it is actually Krishna's mercy upon you also. Why? Because in danger only we will think, Krishna, Kadavul, Kapathanga, please help me, God, I'm in danger, please help me. So even danger is a blessing in disguise. So this is the point that the Devas are making here. They are saying here that because the Supreme Lord is a protector of his devotees, no matter what obstacles the Devas give to these devotees, the devotees, their response is they become more and more attached to the Supreme Lord. This is the point that the Devas are making. Therefore, just like the Supreme Lord is glorious, so also are his devotees. His devotees are also glorious. When the demigods were thus praising the Supreme Lord, the all-powerful Lord suddenly manifested before their eyes many women who were astonishingly gorgeous, decorated with fine clothes and ornaments, and all faithfully engaged in the Lord's service. So these devas, they came with pride, oh, I'm Kandarapa, I'm the most beautiful in this universe. While they were praising Nara Narayana Rishi, this Nara Narayana Rishi, from their body came these women. They were a million times more attractive and more beautiful than the cupids, than the devas. And when these devas saw these women, they felt ashamed. They felt ashamed. When the followers of the demigods gazed upon the fascinating mystic beauty of these women created by Nara Narayana Rishi and smelled the fragrance of their bodies, the minds of the followers became bewildered. Indeed, upon seeing the beauty and magnificence of such women, the representatives of the demigods were completely diminished in their own opulence. The Supreme Lord of Lords then smiled slightly and told the representative of the heavens, who were bowing down before him, please choose one of these women, whomever you find suitable for you. She will become an ornament of heavenly planets. So this is how you should treat a guest. When guests come to your house, you say, whatever you want, please ask, I'll give you. Vibrating the secret syllable Om, the servants of the demigod selected Urvasi, the best of the Apsaras. Placing her in front of them out of respect, they returned to the heavenly planets. The servants of the demigod reached the assembly of Indra. And thus, while all the residents of the three heavenly planets listened, they explained to Indra the supreme power of Narayana. When Indra heard of Narayana Rishi and became aware of his offenses, he was both frightened and astonished. So this is the ultimate result of trying to be more smarter than the Supreme Lord. You become frightened and you become astonished, just like King Indra. So the lesson here in these pastimes is that the Supreme Lord is extremely merciful. He works very, very hard to come and try to just give us blessings by performing all these pastimes, so that we can just be reminded, that our real self-interest is actually in his, under his lotus feet, under his care. By taking to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we are chanting all the mantras of the Devas, all the mantras of the Puranas, and all the essence of all the benediction that are found in the Vedic scriptures. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we get the full benefit of Krishna's mercy. All right, and all the incarnations, the unlimited inner meaning of all this appearance of the Supreme Lord is made known to us. Okay, so we will talk about these pastimes more in the next class. The next class we will be talking about the destination of non-devotees. What will happen to non-devotees? Those who don't believe in the Supreme Lord, what will happen to them? So Hare Krishna, I shall end here. Kindly click like at this bottom of this video, and if you have any questions, please key in the comment section. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.